I'm out on Lake Sammamish in Washington today, fishing the tail end of the midge hatch that we have here. There's a winter midge hatch, and once the water temp hits around 43 degrees or so, these midges start hatching from the bottom, come up, and sort of bring the fish up with them. To try and target that today, there's very few midges on the water today, so there's not a lot of fish, but I am using lead core setup here. You can see I just got a cheapo, what is it, an Eagle Claw Featherlite Kokanee rod, 7'6", medium light, and then just a Okuma Magda Pro 20 reel. Ideally with lead core, you'd probably go with a slightly bigger reel. I should have probably got the 30. Would have been able to hold more line on it. The stuff's pretty thick, so it's probably the equivalent of I don't know, 30-pound mono, something like that. So I can get on this reel about 5 colors. And then if you're not familiar with lead core, the way this works is it's essentially lead core line. It's got a colored sheath on the outside of it. Every 30 feet is a new color. And sort of my rule of thumb for how deep it goes is about 5 feet per color. So right now I've got 4 colors out, so I'm probably around 20 feet deep or so, and it can be very effective. I've also got a little downrigger here. I've got a couple different downriggers, but this is the little one I bring to the lake if I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I find that if you're not as deep, like this is probably about the deepest I would go. Maybe one more color with, well, can only do one more color with this. But usually if I'm 20 feet or deeper, I'll be using the downrigger. And then I use this for shallower, between 5 and 15 feet or so. It's a little easier to do than trying to get the downrigger all set up with especially with the lighter lures like flies and things like that. What else? So today I'm trolling a black woolly bugger with a little bit of flash in it, and I put just a small flasher on there to try and make it a little easier to see that black fly down 20 feet. Otherwise it's a little tough unless it goes right by their nose. caught that little one on a Spinfish, and I usually use those for salmon, but I got a little one. Decided I'd use it. I'd never caught anything on it before, so finally caught something. And I've got 5 colors out, so basically the maximum that this reel will let me. So I'm probably down about 25 feet or so. But that was the second fish for the day. I had one other takedown, but missed it. So slow day. So one of the things that I don't really like about lead core, same thing goes with fishing with slip weights, is the fish, when you get a fish, especially if it's a smaller one, it's always fighting the whole weight. Like right now it would be fighting, rolling that out, so it's about 165 feet of line. I got a fairly long leader on there too. And so it'd be fighting the whole weight of the line as I'm reeling it in, so the fight is fairly muted. It'd be the same thing if you got, a 1 or 1.5 ounce weight on there or something like that. Fish is going to be fighting that the whole time, versus the downrigger. Once the line pulls off the clip, then it's just you and the mono and the fish. So it's a little bit more fun of a fight, I would say. Sometimes with the smaller ones, you just sort of crank this in and there's not much of a fight at all. If you get a bigger one, 18, 20 inches, then they can deal with it a little better and pull, and so you get a little bit more fun fight, but not as much as you would on a downrigger. But that said, it's a very effective way to fish, especially this midge hatch, because a lot of times the fish are closer to the surface, and I find with the downrigger, it's really hard to, if I'm just towing around a woolly bugger, trying to keep that in the 5 foot down range, because it's just not as easy on the downrigger. So it's doable, but it's more of a pain. This thing, you just let one color out and you're good to go.